Rabbits heavily shed or molt their coat twice a year and throughout the year. Rabbits are considered self-groomers, which means they do lick themselves and they will lick up all that loose hair. Sometimes the loose hair gets clogged in their digestive tract, and if it cannot come out, your bunny might have a serious issue and need surgery to remove the blockage. So it's very important to keep your rabbit groomed, especially during the molting season. The molting season is generally in the spring and the fall. There are many types of rabbits with different coat types. And this rabbit here is a Rex rabbit. They have guard hairs and undercoat of equal length. This makes this type of coat soft and velvety. You may think that the Rex rabbit does not need a lot of grooming because of its short coat. Well, that's further from the truth. Rex rabbits have a tremendous amount of hair. Wait and see how much hair comes out of this Rex rabbit. It's important to know which tools to use while you're grooming rabbits and techniques in which to calm them and hold them, in which way to brush them. And each rabbit will need different tools, such as an Angora with long hair may need clipping with a clipper. So in this video, as I'm grooming this Rex rabbit, I'm going to show you which tools that I use in some of my techniques. The first tool that I use is called the Zoom Groom or a curry brush. Sometimes this brush is used on short-haired dogs or horses and is great for rabbits as well. And what this brush does is loosen up the hair. You see all that hair that was shedding on top of her back? It just loosens it all up. And look at this hair just flying out of there. So I will use this with the lay of the coat, like starting from the ears down to the rump. And also it can be used on the ears, between the ears, on the head, underneath, the belly, everywhere, all over the bunny. So what I'll do is I'll use this until I feel that there is a significant amount of hair that has been loosened before I go on to the next tool. This is all the hair that has come out just for using it for a short time. And there's a lot more to come out. Here I am brushing the ears. The ears do have some shedding hair. Although the hair on the ears is much shorter than the actual body, they still need some brushing. And behind the ears, on the sides, and between the ears, between the eyes, on top of the head there. And now I pick her up gently just to get her sides. Like her sides need to be done, and under her belly will need to be done. They need to be groomed basically all over. There's still quite a bit of fur coming out of her, but it is getting less as I emptied the brush out a few times now. And once I see that there's less hair to come out of the brush, I can move on to the next tool. Here I'm just lifting her up while I'm holding her front legs safe and secure while her back legs are on the table. You want to make sure they feel comfortable, not afraid. Now she's a very relaxed bunny. She's not, skittish or scared. Just turning around so I can do the other side. And look at all that hair. See it all? Still all coming out. These Rex rabbits have a lot of hair. I always make sure to have a secure hand holding the bunny so they can't, jump away. They can jump pretty far. They can actually kick as well, and they can break their back. So you have to be very careful. You have to, feel how their body language, watch their body language. You have to be ready and stop grooming them if they're very stressed, if they're growling, thumping or trying to get away. You got to give them a break. And you can also soothe them by just petting them on the ears. Pet them on the ears and between the eyes. They really like that. here's some more hair, but it's getting less. You see, it's getting a little bit less. I'm holding her underneath her front legs while her back legs are on the table, so I can do the side of her and her back and just underneath her rump. Trying to get every angle, just holding her gently, and when she starts moving, I just let her down. See, there's less hair in there now. Just checking under her ears. And between her ears as well. It's like getting a massage. She likes that part. I give her a pet to soothe her, which helps her a lot. Just brush her gently. And now I just want to get under her chin area, like her dewlap. She is a Rex rabbit, and they do have dewlaps even if they're spayed. Like she is spayed, but she has a little bit of a dewlap. Now there isn't a lot of hair that's shedding under there, so I just brush gently, as it's very hard to get under the chin. But yeah, at least I checked it. It looks pretty good. But I tried to get all over the bunny. Rabbit's undercoat can also be plucked. Just the hairs that are loose. You don't want to pull too hard. You just want to pull it gently. It just comes out very, very easy. Just be careful not to pull the actual hair that's not molting. And you see how it comes out easy? Sometimes they have big chunks hanging off of them, and it just comes right out. Now just be careful not to over pluck. I'm just getting out all the loose hairs that the Zoom Groom brush didn't get out. I like doing the plucking. It's a lot of fun. Now, how as I pluck, my other hand is on her like head area, on her ears, and I give her some soothing. I give her pets to relax her. She doesn't seem to mind this. She has a lot of undercoat just above her tail. And don't forget the tail as well. The tail is really long if you stretch out the tail. Look at this. Even just swiping your hand on the coat, you can get a lot of hair out. So now I'm just getting all the extra little hairs that I see that are loose. And once I finish plucking the hair, I use my Zoom Groom already. I pluck the hair. I try another tool. This is actually a cat comb. It's a shedding comb. And it has varied tooth lengths, some longer, some shorter. The shorter teeth help the undercoat come out. Now I'm trying it. It is working, but not a lot of hair is coming out. And at this point, I can feel that there's undercoat underneath. See, there's a little bit of hair that comes out. But I feel like I can try another comb. And this is basically called a face comb for dogs or cats. And I found this comb worked really well. Now, it might look like I'm pulling hard, but I'm not. This is a very small comb, and it's getting the undercoat out really, really well. It'll take out a lot of hair. The teeth or the tines are pretty close together. You don't want to go any closer than that. You don't want to use a flea comb, as the tines are too close together, and it'll just rip out the hair. So this is the face comb meant for short hair, like around cats' faces, say Pomeranians, like on their nose, on short, smooth animals. It's not meant for, like, you know, say a poodle or an Angora rabbit, anything with long hair. It's meant for short-haired animals or sections on the animals. But look how much hair that I'm getting out. Oh yes, I like it. Nice. This is the hair buster comb. Those rubber pieces within the comb will grip the loose fur and slide it free. And when you're using this comb, it's best to, you want to place the comb almost parallel to the skin and brush toward the rear of the rabbit. This comb does help. It does take out some hair. But that small comb that I used before this, the face comb, that took out the most hair. But look at this. See, there's a lot of hair that comes out with the hair buster. This is a great comb for rabbits that shed. Just got to make sure you use it properly. You want to almost put it parallel so that those rubber pieces within the comb can grasp the hair that's shedding and pull it out. It's so satisfying to watch and see all the hair that comes out. Yeah, so this comb does work great. It grasps out the undercoat. Look at all the hair that I got out just using it like in a couple of swipes. Yep, here's some more. So that's like 3 times I had to empty out this comb. This is the 4th time I had to empty the comb, and look, it's kind of less fur, so it's working. So less hair is coming out. So it's doing its job. But I want to get out as much hair as I can. So I just keep on combing and combing. And you can tell by her coat, look how nice it's starting to look. Really smooth and plush, like a Rex rabbit. See, a little bit, there's more hair, but it's getting less and less, which is what you want to look out for. So now I'm going to go back to my face comb because I found this worked the best, and we'll get out like all the hair. All the hair is here, and you'll see how much hair will come out. So the hair keeps coming and coming. Look how much I got out with this little comb. So I continue. You can kind of see the line where all the hair is almost all out, and down here there's a lot more hair because I'm mostly concentrated on the top of the back first, and then I work toward her sides. I then go over her again with the hair buster to see if I can get out any extra hair that the other comb is missing. As each comb is different, so it's all like trial and error. You can try all these different tools and see what works the best, and then use that tool or use all the tools. I like using different tools. And then I go back to my face comb. She has a lot of hair above her rump here and on her tail, and I'll get all that out, and I can pluck it out as well. And the hair keeps coming. It's less and less, but she does have a lot of hair by her rump as I was concentrating on the back part. But look at all this hair. That's all embedded. Undercoat is embedded by her rump and the top of her tail. And here I'm just soothing her, petting her. She seems to like the grooming, so she's not really a problem here. I'm just trying to get her side of her dewlap there and her front legs. They have hair everywhere. And there's still more hair coming out. It just seems like it never ends. You would think a Rex rabbit with short hair had no hair and not much shedding. I've never seen so much hair in my life. I'm a dog groomer generally, and I've groomed huskies, double-coated dogs, and this is like similar to it. So if you bring your bunny to a groomer, expect to pay them well. As this grooming actually took me an hour, and rabbit groomers are very hard to find. It's a specialized service, so it will cost more than a dog grooming or even a cat grooming. So you'll pay what they ask you, and you'll like the results afterwards, unless you can do this yourself, of course. It's essential when grooming a rabbit to check their ears, the inside of the ears and the outside. If you see anything unusual that looks like infection or a problem, just leave the ear alone and refer the rabbit to the vet. Or if you're grooming your own, take your rabbit to the vet so they can see what's inside the ear. But if they're dirty, you can use a Q-tip with mineral oil and just clean it out with a Q-tip. You don't want to go in too deep though, just clean what you can see. It's important to check their feet while grooming your bunny, and the back feet can be combed out. Never clip the pads of the rabbit's feet as they need the padding, and check for any sores or missing hair. And yes, bunnies are very sensitive here. Trying to comb under her tail, they're very, very touchy and will jump. You got to be careful you don't get kicked. Checking her front legs, and this is time I can groom her belly. And never put a bunny on their back. I'm holding her like upright against my body to hold her comfortably. Most rabbits don't really like this part. And now I can check the scent glands. They do have scent glands. Some bunnies will have a buildup of like a waxy substance in there that need to be cleaned out. It's really smelly, so it's best if you get that out. First, I'm going to clip her nails just in case she kicks and I get scratched. So what I do is just hold them this way. Her back is against my body and my other arm is under her arms, holding her comfortably. She's holding her feet out nice and straight for me. If you have two people, it's a lot better, but if you're by yourself, this is how I do it. I use a sharp nail trimmer. Make sure they are sharp and not dull, as it will hurt them if they're dull. It will split the nails, so you want the sharpest nail clippers. And usually they're pretty easy on a bunny with white nails. You can see where the quick is. They have a quick, so you don't want to cut them too short or they will bleed. It will hurt. The bunny will jump. So you just got to find out where the quick is. Sorry, I couldn't get any closer, but if you look up how to trim a bunny's nails, I'm sure you'll find a video about that. Also, I do the back nails, and then I do the front nails, and I do the dew claws that are on the front feet as well. For the glands, I wet Q-tips with warm water. You want to avoid using cold water, as your bunny will jump, as they don't like cold water touching their skin and their private area. So the glands will be on either side of the rectum. You can see them and smell them. They're just like waxy, hard, like nodules that you can slide out. So what I do is I wet them first and kind of let them, loosen them up with the water. And then I just slide the swab behind it to loosen it from the skin and then pull it free. And usually I can use my Q-tip. There's a little bit right there. Sometimes you got to go in a few times, or sometimes it'll come out all in one piece. And she is not on her back. She's got her back toward my body. I'm holding her upright. And it doesn't hurt. This doesn't hurt. It comes out quite easily as long as you wet it, because sometimes it's embedded in there, pretty firmly. So you just keep on applying warm water, and then eventually it'll just slide right out. And there it comes. It's just a little piece. It's very hard. You can pick it up with your fingers. It's like a little raisin. And that smells. It smells very, very bad. So you want to put that in the garbage right away. And then I just wet it to clean up any little particles that are left behind. Sometimes if it gets, on the fur around the area, you're just going to have to clean that up. Otherwise, the bunny will smell. And, the grooming won't be so good if it's going to smell afterwards, right? So you want to just clean up the area so they're all nice and clean there. So that area is clean, and this area is clean. You can see the area where it came out of. That little slit right there. Then I give her some soothing, some petting, and this also helps remove any loose hairs that are on top of her fur, and just let her relax for a little bit, calm down. And then what I do is I do like a final combing just to get all that hair out. It's like 90% out right now. As you can see, a little bit is coming out, but there's still hair. You can brush and brush for hours and there'll still be hair coming out of her. Still getting out quite a bit of hair, but it's not as much as the first go around. I've been combing and brushing her for a while at this point, and now I go back to my face comb, which I find is the best to get out the hair, and I just go over her, pluck any hairs. Look at her coat, it's becoming really, really nice and pretty. I then comb the other side and keep going through the hair until I see less and less hair coming out of the comb. Her coat is starting to look soft and velvety, and the comb is sliding through well. And look, not a lot of hair is coming out, so that's a good sign. I like to comb them very thoroughly until I barely get any hair out. And now I have lifted her up and her back is leaning against my body, so I can just get the area by her hind legs and the top of her feet. This just makes it easier to get, otherwise it's hard to get when she's on the table with all 4 feet. Just turn her around gently, and now do the other side. Now I'm going over her with the fur buster again. It's good to use different tools, try them all, because all tools are different, take out certain amounts of hair. I did her with the face comb, and now I'm just going over her with the fur buster. And look, very minimal hair is coming out, so she's almost finished. She's starting to look like $1,000,000. Look at her coat. Isn't that beautiful? So soft and smooth, velvety, nice Rex rabbit fur. So there's hardly any hair coming out. See, there's barely any. And this is all the hair that we got out of this Rex rabbit. It's a lot of hair. We can make another rabbit. And look at how beautiful she is. She's nice and plush and velvety and looking really beautiful. I'm sure she feels good. And now she won't ingest all that loose hair, which is best for the rabbit, as you don't want that to happen. And this is the debris that I got out of her scent glands, so she doesn't really smell anymore down there. And she's feeling good. And look at all this hair. Beautiful girl. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and share this video. And please subscribe if you haven't already, so you won't miss any of my future grooming uploads. And check out my links down below of my grooming Amazon store and any links to any rabbit grooming products and this excellent rabbit grooming book. See you next time.